Hello everybody and welcome to our last game of King of the Hill Week 3. We have as our current king, after just taking down Von Ivan after a very lengthy and unnecessary game, it is Theodosius playing as Austere.
We have Theo against Paul.a, who's locking straight in as Soviet says the armoured assault tactics in order to get radio intercept and listen to exactly what Theodosius is doing.
I think, actually no, I cast the 2v2 tournament with Stern Panther yesterday, as I think you know, and really like seeing that a lot of the top players are utilising radio intercept, because intel is such an important part of Company of Heroes. Not enough people use it. More people think, you know, it's okay, I'll just play really well and do that. Intel is so good, because now Paul.a knows every single unit that Theodosius brings onto the field. You can hear here, he's getting those announcements, even though we are on Paul.a's player card. So
I've got such a good feeling about this game. I don't know, there's something about this game right now that is telling me we're in for an extremely fascinating encounter. And I don't say that lightly. I tend to try and hype games up often, especially on YouTube vidcasts I do, because I've spec'd the replays out and I already know they're a good game. But if you notice when I'm casting with Dan in King of the Hill or any of the tournaments we do, I'm sometimes not quite as serious about it. But something to me, in my thousands of hours of casting, tells me, guys, Paul.a versus Theodosius, we're in for an absolute blinder. Dan, do you get the kind of same feeling?
I do, now that I see the build orders coming in. We don't see that early penal. Paul.a's going to go straight in with that sniper, get that sniper working at the start of the game, and it is such a hassle for the four-man squads of the Austere to deal with that sniper from the start. Because they can't push it away effectively, they can't really flank it effectively, so this is a great time to have that unit out. Oh, that being said though, Paul.a walks it straight into the face of the MG. And is going to make the retreat with that. So, yeah, I mean, interestingly to say about the sniper, I mean, you are taking a squad down to 75% efficiency as soon as it walks into an engagement when the sniper is present. And that is a really big hit to Austere. It's hard for them to deal with.
Absolutely. Dan, can you sort out the Discord bug thing you get? Is that all right? So Paul.a's going for the kind of noise. I think if you click off a screen or do something, it fixes itself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's going for a second sniper now, Paul.a. So Paul.a is going for a very interesting strategy. And I always expect Paul.a to play as competitively and as seriously as he can do. He's a very competitive guy. He lives and dies for this game. He's spent most of his life, other than sleeping, he's spent playing Company of Heroes in the past 4 years. And that's crazy to think. It's his #2 activity in the world. But it is. And he's a great player. God, Theodosius is coming out with another sniper down.
We're gonna see a total of 3 snipers on the field. Well, you know, if we're gonna count the models, then we'll say 5. But I mean, this is an interesting one because we could see the counter sniped. Maybe this is just some like Inception style sniper play where he's gonna bait with one sniper and then kill with the second sniper and have the sniper advantage. That would be impressive. Even if costly. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
We need to get into the second sniper. We need to get the sniper up the thing. We need another sniper to counter the sniper. Whoa!
Yeah,
Snipeception.
I totally agree. That being said, by going double sniper, Paul.a leaves himself with a very reduced start game. He has very little in the way of active capping units that aren't incredibly valuable or incredibly high to reinforce. Any models picked on the sniper for Paul.a are going to really, really hamper his ability to tech and bring things onto the field.
Another thing about, 2 things to take into account with this sniper meta that we've encountered so far is, of course, that Paul.a may have seen the sniper come onto the field thanks to radio intercept. And the second point, Dan, what have you seen?
He just revealed the sniper for a little bit. Paul.a knows exactly where it is. I think Theodosius maybe realised he made a little mistake pulling out of cover there.
But also, Theo needs to get to Veterancy 1 to get the incendiary round as well, so he can get that double tap insta-kill ability.
Yeah, that's the kind of the counter element, isn't it, for the Austere? He has to be Vet 1 before he can effectively get the counter snipe on the squad, because he can take one model down, hide. That's difficult to do at the start of the game. So, and that's the fun of the Austere sniper.
It is the fun indeed. We now have the 251 half track coming out as well for Theodosios, which is going to keep him on the battlefield and keep him freshly supplied for the 2 grenadiers he has. But I think all importantly could actually be a Flammenwerfer half track, which would be extremely interesting. Dan, have you checked out that demo as well? That's an interesting demo that could be very well utilized later on.
I have. It's a very cheeky demo, and we do see Theodosius is nearby with mine detectors, but I'm not sure if he'll catch that just due to the position that it is in. 251 half track in the field, and going to help the Grenadiers and Pioneers push their assault. Hopefully on the right-hand side. Keep that economy advantage that he's got over Paul at the moment.
Nice rifle nade dodge there by Paul.a. He's got his conscripts in decent positions, 3 of them in total. We're having the first tech from HQ. It is the anti-tank grenade check. Tech for Paul.a. However, he's not going to allow him to get it off. There you go, he's gotten it off. And they keep the Flammenwerfer, as predicted, from being battle ready for a while.
I actually honestly thought he might go for just reinforcing his units constantly and just trying to work up against the sniper. I thought that would be more likely. That's a very narrow dodge by the sniper there against the conscripts coming into the fuel right hand side, and they know that sniper's there somewhere. He knows it's there somewhere.
I just think the great thing about the Flammenwerfer half track is getting it out in 6 minutes. It has great shock factor, and look at that dissipation. And obviously it was mitigated thanks to that... Oh god, I just lost another model. It was mitigated, of course, thanks to that nice anti-tank grenade. But he's now back into things, and he's also getting the scout car as well. Kills the demo, good work. Getting the scout car as well to really get mobilised and put the pressure down upon Paul.a.
Yeah, a light vehicle rush here would be devastating, even with the conscripts. The combination of the scout car and the flamer half track could be very problematic. If it's micro correctly, left at range, then all the conscripts are actually really back at the base at the moment. So there's no chance of those flanks to get the 18 aids off. It is really Paul.a's just got to find a way of dealing with this with cons from the front, and that is a difficult situation to be in.
I have to say, the 251 half tracks Flammenwerfer animations are so unrealistic that they take me out of the immersion, and I giggle because it's got these 2 big spindly things like arms at the top, right? And when it fires them both in different angles at different times, it's like a wacky wailing inflatable arm flailing tube man, like shooting flames everywhere, and it just looks so silly.
Oh, Paul.a's just been flanked by Theodosius. The scout car is in a good position, but scout car could put itself out against the conscripts. They plant it.
Nice.
The 18 aid on the front of the scout car, making it engine damaged and struggling to get away.
Theodosius with the Jaeger armor doctrine. We've had, of course, the infamous Regal 43 anti-tank mine. This is only the 6th time it's ever been used in Company of Heroes, everybody.
These used to be devastating. These used to be devastating. I think you could do immobilization on heavy vehicles. I don't know if they still do, but
they're really great. I'm sure they're great. Last time they were used was 2015. It was March the 3rd. The player was Reichs Goebbels 43, and he used it on this winter version of Samosky. Nice stat from Relic HQ there. Thank you, Relic.
Scout car's trying to stop this capping. Actually, I would have thought that Theodosius could have had a little more in terms of map control. We could have made a little more use of the time that he had, and I haven't really seen that, to be honest. Paul.a, I think, is being allowed to keep resources coming in because Theodosius isn't really pushing the strategic decaps. He's actually trying to cap the territories from his base outwards, like a connecting. Do you know what I mean? He's not really going to decap the points, which gives the maximum resource decap value. So because of that, Paul.a is still very much in this, and of course he does have plenty of time on his hands at 350 VPs.
If you're wondering why we're not talking about the Commander revamp, this is not the Jaeger Light Infantry Commander. This is Jaeger Armor Doctrine, also known as Elephant Commander. But a bit of stagnation in play now, Dan. And do you know what I put this down to? Sniper meta. It always makes the this kind of portion in KotH 2 a little bit stagnant.
It is, yeah. And as one player finds their kind of defensive position, the other one is gearing up for the attack, and that is of course Paul.a, who I don't think he's managed to find great utility from his snipers yet, if I'm totally honest. Not that they haven't been good, but he has got 2 squads that are total of 15 kills. You know, we've seen top level sniper play that is, you know, 2 kills per minute. You know.
Well, he's got 720 manpower employed in these snipers. He's also seeded a lot of fuel control, a lot of munitions control, thanks to building them so early on. And at the moment, his kill tally is 17, which is about 60% paid for. So he's paid for 60% of the manpower he's employed. Speaking like a true accountant too. And I don't feel like he's got bang for his buck in terms of manpower control. Look at the victory point count as well. He's seeded 200 victory points and counting, and I'm not so sure it was a great play. Tell me, Dan, have you ever seen Captain Price win a tournament?
No, actually.
What does Captain Price build first every single time?
Sniper.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of the Captain Price effect, if you will. You're not going to win. Go on.
We've seen Barton do it before.
Barton's Barton.
But I could easily see one Soviet sniper being effective in the sense that, you know, as we talked about the 4-man squads, if he'd gone for something like penals to back this up, you know, they have a much better time on the field and in all the engagements. But getting 2, it's a huge
demo
delay.
went off there. Put a lot of health damage on the 251 half track, however there's no follow-up. So it was a cheeky demo deploy, and I'm not sure it was a correct one.
Out of those flames. Got engineers that had swept the minefield on the left VP, now successfully capped that, tipping the VP drain into Paul.a's side for a while, which needs to be done, because if he doesn't keep hold of those VPs against Theo, he will not have a chance to get to that late game, where I think that's where he'll be aiming to bring out the bigger units and micro them incredibly well to overcome Theo. At the moment, he's not going to be able to win with what he's got, I don't think.
He has got the Armoured Assault Tactics Doctrine, which is, of course, the incredibly powerful late-game doctrine for Soviets. And to me, it makes me think I'm 24 again, and I'm playing this game in Automatch, because when this commander came out, that's when I got my Automatch ranked, baby. The game was really popular at the time, and I just abused this commander in particular. And for me at the time, it was really good. It had the T-3485 double call-in, if you remember, Dan. It was like a super meta call-ins, and I was all about the call-ins, baby. And this to me is a very much a 2014 commander, being utilised by Paul.a here, not very often seen, but it's because conscripts have been buffed, Dan, that has allowed him to do this. I mean, conscripts usually, although he has got a cheeky penal, it must be said, conscripts usually wouldn't be utilised, and now they're being utilised again. It's allowing commanders like the Armoured Assault Tactics to be used. Very cool, you gotta say.
I think this is one of the better commanders that the Soviets has, just for the fact alone that it has intel and a heavy calling is fantastic. But yeah, I mean, going all the way back, the cons build with this, I used to watch Love Nest play this strategy and be able to call out the 2 T-3485s and the IS-2 at the same time, which is just incredible, really. So, very slow battlefield at the moment, Amy.
It's incredibly slow. We're reminiscing of when we used to play the game rather than cast it. Do you have any war stories, Dan? Oh, I've got some great war stories. Do you know I once had a 1 hour 45-minute game on Longest Sky?
Really?
I had a Brumbear that got to 107 kills.
I've never really long broken the 1 hour mark, if I'm totally honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Stamina. You gotta have stamina. The snipers haven't even got into a position to die yet. What's happening? Fight, you bastards!
Yeah, this kind of reminds me, you know, when you just get like 2 chickens in a cage and they're not fighting, and then you're thinking, come on.
Let's nudge them towards each other.
Do you know what I mean? It's
I know exactly what you mean.
It's like they're not really wanting to engage with each other. It's like they're both comfortable with whatever territory they've got. They both don't want to go a little too far, and they're waiting for the late game, which has, you know, it's a bit of a gamble.
I want to just make this a thing, and I call it Popcat Pussies. They wait till they get to 100 Popcat before they even consider doing anything. And it's very much a game that's heading to big things. Dan and I have noticed a significant lack of aggression, which means we're currently on borrowed time. We're basically watching two drunken guys hit each other repeatedly in the face. Soon, their friends will arrive, and their friends have a baseball bat and a nail gun.
Usually I have no end of things to click on for interest. At the moment, I'm just looking for things that are interesting. Oh, here we go. Finally, tier 4 is interesting. To give Paul something on the field until 13 CP, which is necessary. But there just isn't that much going on. It's quite a stagnant push up the field. I feel more like Theodosius is giving up territory rather than Paul.a taking it. That is a great barrage from the Zis, wiping a bunch of models. Now the Flamen half-track is going in. Not confident enough to push. And again, another example of just not wanting to go in there and get a little bit of damage off.
Let's have a look at the stats.
I already have. I've already used that card. This is the live graphs. There we go.
Oh, God. Now, interestingly, if you look at the river, Dan, if you look at the river, if you make me laugh, I won't stop. Go to the south of the map and look at the river. The river's flowing upstream. This is weird. It defies gravity. Look at that. That's crazy. That can't happen.
It's another one of AE's funny stories.
AE's funny stories.
Here's the T-3485 on the field. Engineers there have been caught out, capping the left-hand side. Grenadiers should be able to take fuel and VPs. Interestingly, in this time where nothing has happened, stuff has actually happened. It's just happened so slowly that it's 3 VPs have been capped by Paul.a. I don't know how Theodosius is losing territory. I can't actually pinpoint how Paul.a is doing this. I feel like, you know, like snake charmers, how they just kind of blow the whistle and the opponent's like...
Holy crap, Dan. Sorry, hang on a second. Just to the north of the fuel house there, the T-3485 has come into the battlefield, and it's gone to a standstill, and it's staying there. It's waiting. It's waiting, Dan. And at any time, it could spring a trap upon Theodosius' choices, and at that point, he will be done for.
Yeah. We've still got only 5 kills on the Ostis sniper. And we should talk about this actually, because when you see a sniper and you know your opponent's got a sniper, you tend to not, you come to this weird stalemate, do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to lose yours. But I mean, to not use the sniper this long into the game, I think is a really, it's just waste. It's waste at this stage to not even try and take some shots off.
He's had to retreat with that sniper momentarily, and we are starting to. Now we're getting into Popcat Pussy status, where the guys have got a massive army, and they're going to have to throw it at one each other. And the Cold War will boil over and become a hot war. We're starting to see how that hot war could be visioned. We've got the Soviet sniper now climbing up in kills, both at Veteran C2. Oh God, just lost a man there. 20 kills and 14 kills respectively. And we're now seeing the tanks start to emerge, Dan, and how this late game could start to be visioned.
Yeah, I think now with the tank on the field, we've got the minesweepers, 2 pioneer squads going out minesweeping, so this should be the time that Theo decides to start rolling out and taking some of that territory back. Sniper seems to be a little more ballsy. They're out of cover at the moment. Needs to be very careful with things like that. Sniper positioning is essential to stay in this game.
Hang on a sec, Dan. Sorry to interrupt. The T-3485 that was waiting has now been discovered, and it's been discovered by the P-40, the Pak-40 rather, and the Panzer IV is also coming into play, and the tank has had to reverse It's reversed into a shed, Dan!
Well, yeah, actually, I do think things are actually heating up a little bit now because things are starting to happen all over. We have the half-track with the flames trying to get any models down from the AT gun. Ground attack by the Panzer IV through the house, which is just constantly trying to pick away at anything it can, get maximum value from its cover position. And Theodosius is now starting to push up the field a little bit more with protection from the AT gun. So still not loads happening. I think the sniper play has just like stunted things so heavily. But now we see snipers out of position. Grenadiers should be targeting.
Oh god! And we've got the Grenadiers, and this is not ironic this time. They've actually gone in for something. Pack 40 as well. Main gun destroyed on the T-34-85. Zis gun covering. Here comes the Faust, perhaps. Will he be able to get it off? Fog War engaged. Maybe. No, not quite. Conscript with their increased accuracy pushing them away.
Do you know, that was a huge misplay by...
What is this shot there? He took out the Panzer IV. How is that possible?
He didn't. It was already abandoned.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't retreat the Panzer IV. He was too busy chasing with the Grenadiers and didn't retreat the Panzer IV from the Zis gun, which meant it just died quite effortlessly by Paul.a. Now we're going to see the conscripts going to get the 18 off. They'll probably chase down with the other squads and finish that. Here we're seeing the URA come in. And then no amount of flamethrowers. I think we're going to stop this. A little bit of support from Sturmovik. Oh, still survives.
Nice. Maybe on the second pass. If you can keep line of sight, conscript keeping line of sight. So close yet so far.
Let's have a look at these Sturmoviks that are just kind of loitering around at the moment, trying to look for targets, dancing through the air. You see them firing down into the base territories, providing excellent cover for Paul.a to keep working up with those snipers. See, this sniper now on 17 kills. The other one did go down in an engagement finally. But Theodosius, I just don't understand how he's losing territory the way he has been. Because he's just let Paul.a walk all over him.
He's recapping his support weapons, and definitely, Dan, I really feel like we're a Cold War gone hot. So if you're watching this on your other monitor and you've gone on something else, definitely now is the time to get back interested in this game. It's all boiled over all very quickly indeed. But the penal battalion's causing damage to these Grenadiers here. We've had a Sturmgeschütz. That's right, a Sturmgeschütz has been built.
Oh, Paul.a's just got onto the IS-2 as well. Is he going to hit that button immediately? Yes, he will.
There you go. 60 tons of Stalinium is warbling its way onto the field. This thing is a true Cold War heavyweight in 1944. And look at that sloped armor. Look at that heavy 122mm cannon. This thing is here to give Theodosius a very unwarm welcome.
Theodosius still has more on the field. He has more capping potential. If he can just keep the IS-2 and the T-34 engaged, maybe, you know, getting a good stun from the pack gun target weak point, he could definitely work his way across the map still. But Paul.a has a really good opportunity here now that he's basically got the composition that he wants. He can now fill it out with those infantry squads that can just make map control really, really hard for Theodosius. But I just don't think we're going to see it. He hasn't been playing aggressively enough throughout the entirety of this game.
He's not been playing aggressive enough, and it's now come to tell. The rewards of his unaggression, his passiveness, is fully being displayed as the IS-2, and Paul is no stranger to danger. He will be aggressive when he needs to be, and he's doing that right now.
Oh, this is where it's going to get difficult. Sniper still really not doing anything. He's got it on hold fire. Could be taking some shots at the Penal Battalion's capping center DP, but once again we're going to see the Sturmoviks come in. They're causing havoc for the MG and Sniper in this territory, and just constantly denying any of the defenses that Theodosius has in place. No stun shot from the pack means the T-34-85 can go straight into the base. It's trying to find the rear armor of the Stug and is not successful. In fact, taking a Faust and rear armor shots from the Stug. Oh,
that's really unfortunate. IS-2, however, repairs the situation, has been able to disembowel the Pack 40 and allow the T-34-85 a safe passage home, then destroys the weapon. This is aggression, and we were calling these players out earlier on for not being aggressive enough, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
Theo hasn't been aggressive in this game. I would still stand by that. A couple of times he's branched out, but he's done it badly. I don't think he'll be happy with the way that he's played this already.
Dan, would you say that, I'm not trying to be ego here, but my analysis of Theodosios and why I like him as a player, but I don't foresee him as a tournament winner right now, until he corrects a certain part of his play. Would you agree that he is too passive?
Wait, 1 second, where is this? Oh, no, it was the plane going down. I thought it was a Stuka bomb.
Would you go Stukas aside, would you agree that he's too passive?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I think that was the big point of why this is going so bad right now. And you only have to look at the sniper, which is relatively uncontested in a lot of situations, and to not be using the sniper, he is starting to open up a little now, but for a majority of the game, I just haven't seen it. It's just allowed Paul.a.D to get strength after strength back into this game.
After strength, and that is King Paul.a.D, a thing the community of KotH 2 ever wanted to see. I would say not, and apparently that's what we could be seeing, unless Theodosios pulls his thumb out of his arse and does something. Save us, Theo! Save us!
Interesting, I mean, we had Paul.a.D as king already. Paul.a.D was knocked out by... Was it Von Ivan?
I can get it up for you now, son.
With the...
That sounds terrible.
I know. I was going to avoid that one, but thanks for highlighting it. Yeah, who was it? Because was it Von Ivan that had the
Theo lost to
incredible
Von,
luck?
yeah.
No, not Theo. Paul.a.D. Paul.a.D lost, I think it was on this map. I think he lost with the mortars. Do you remember he was playing Brits? He was playing that horrendous British strategy. Legio's confirmed, yes, it was Von.
Thank you, Legio.
So, yeah, we have had him before knocked out by Von. Theodosius knocks out Von, but can't knock out Paul.a.D. What's going on?
Ooh, nice drift there by the 251 with those incredible, wacky, wailing, inflatable arm, flaming tube men. Flaming. Do you get how I got that in there, Dan? You were laughing.
You're doing great. You'll get it the third time, I'm sure. Waiting for it. Stuke has an opportunity to ground attack through the hedgerow. He's trying to pull it off, but hasn't managed to find the shots. IS2 not able to defend that AT gun, trying to get away. The AT gun's really important, actually, just keeping those Zis guns from chasing. We're seeing another T-34-85 come in from Paul.a.D, who's just slowly tightening the noose, and I'm not sure a second Stuka is going to be enough. AT gun, where is the AT gun? Was that destroyed earlier after it was
Indeed, it was, of course, by the IS2 when it was watching over the base. And I've got to say, this is entirely unrealistic, because the Stug should be able to destroy everything on the battlefield, of course. And what was that call there? What we heard? Is it the fact that the elephant is now available? Not that he's going to want to build it, he's not got the fuel for another 7 minutes anyway.
It would be terrible to be built it. Well, the Stug, I think, is his best option, but the infantry-to-infantry engagements aren't going well. The IS2 is starting to get to that position where it's just squad wiping over time. And yeah, without the AT gun, I think it's difficult, especially if you're being attacked, because the AT gun is what holds target weak point with the stun against vehicles. The Stug doesn't. The Stug just has like a turret lock, so it's harder for Theodosius to get the right engagement. Here we go. This is going to be the final.
T-35 rushing in. Also, the IL-2 Sturmovik. Tank destroyer planes are going to come hurtling down from the sky. Here you go, Stug. Rear armor penetrated. T-35 marches on.
Somehow that Stug has not gone down. It's going to pick up armor plating with Veteran C2. And I'm surprised Theodosius hasn't lost more than this right now. He needs to try and get that Stug.
Oh, what a regal mine goes off and destroys the T-34-85. Pioneers are going to try and take it. They've taken the T-34. Could this be Theo's way back into the game on 76 victory points remaining?
May have made a mistake getting in it whilst it was heavy engine damage. Could have done better to actually repair it.
He's using the turret though, Dan. He's using the turret to destroy this MG-42.
This is so unfortunate. The T-34 has not gone down to that last shot from the Stug. You now got two in incredibly low health, but I think the Stug will get there first, and it misses!
It misses the shot that it able to take both Stugs down, possibly. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh, it's all so chaotic right now. I think when you flood players with the noise of the Sturmovik, and then you're driving in with the IS-2, flanking with the T-34-85s, what a chaotic engagement. And you know what? Paul.A.D did lose a fair amount making that push, but I do think it's too late for Theodosis. A triple cap, 35 seconds of gameplay left. No longer the Stug on the field, and Paul.A.D will be our new king for sure at this point.
Big Fat Betsy Bambalam IS-2 pushes its way into the game and destroys the Flammable 251 with aplomb, and is sitting pretty, sat on Theodosios' base's face, and I can't see any way back into this game for the German hero.
No. Sadly not. That will be the 10 points. Let's watch this IS-2 win its game. And Faymanville. It's been an interesting day for this. We haven't really had any stable kings for a lot of games.
Shall we have another game, Dan?
I don't know if I can handle it.
20 minutes to 6. We've got 20 minutes of airtime. Can you handle it? Or shall we wait until next week? Either way, these fans will be happy. But it's all on you, son.
Why don't we put it up to a vote?
You know which way that's going to go.